Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Colleen with Monkeys and Hats Digital Marketing and E-commerce, and this is live with Coffee with Colleen and Kate. So where the heck is Kate, right?
Kate's here. Kate's here. I'm not sure anybody can see me, but Kate's here.
Kate is right here. So it has been a fantastic adventure this morning behind the scenes here on Coffee with Kate and Colleen. Clearly our technologies did not get up and have their coffee. Are we even live right this second? Can anyone see?
No.
Can anyone see? Michelle is watching. Cwck is watching. Okay, that's good. That's very, very good. So are we live in consignment marketing? Because we've been live. We've been all over Facebook this morning. Kate and I have been. We've had a world tour of Facebook. So, I mean, really, filming behind the scenes is... Good morning. Angie's on. Okay, I think we got it. We got it right. So, yes, welcome to the Coffee with Colleen and Kate. It's going to be an interesting show. But the show must go on despite what's going on backstage. Although when you're live, kind of what's backstage is what's in the front, on the front of the stage as well. So as I said, I'm Colleen with Consignment. I don't even know who I'm with anymore. I've said it so many times, Kate, I forgot. So I'm the co-founder of Monkeys and Hats Digital Marketing. And with me is my fabulous co-host this morning.
Good morning. I'm Kate Holmes. I'm sitting here in a little box in Colleen's office, hoping to bring you a little bit of a show today about setting your own policies, about breaking your own policies, about when you should change your policies, and whether you feel good about it or not.
Fantastic. So Kate, let's just go ahead and kick off. I feel like this is more of a comedy routine this morning than a serious show, but we're going to try to get serious here. This is weird, Kate. I do feel like you're like my friend in a box. But here we go. Let's do this. Let's do this thing. So good morning again, everyone. So Kate, talk to us a little bit about those policies and breaking the policies, and let's talk about that. Kick us off.
The major thing I think we all need to remember is that all the rules that are in our shop were either set by us, set by our predecessors, set by our board, and therefore they're not natural law. It's not gravity. It's not a moral issue. It is simply that you've set your policies in your shop as a guide for operations, as a guide for your staff. Nothing is going to happen if you break one of those policies. So you really need to stop and think about, why am I following a rule at a shop better when following this rule today may not be the perfect thing that we want to do at this moment in time. So first of all, get it stuck in your brain that you made the policies, you can break the policies. Then we need to talk about when you think you should break the policies and what the consequences will be.
So I was thinking about an analogy for this show this morning, and I was watching a Netflix documentary, and part of the documentary took place in India. And India, the traffic is just like all over the place. I mean, it is all like people are driving every which way, but no one ever seems to run into each other. I'm sure they do. But in any show I've ever seen, I've never seen like a big, donkey, moped, car pile up in New Delhi. But I was thinking, we have guidelines and rules and contracts and things so that we're not like operating like the traffic in New Delhi. We're not operating like all over the place, and we have some order to it. So then I was thinking, okay, but we also don't want to be like the arsehole cop that is standing down hiding in the weeds trying to like give everyone a ticket that goes by. Like, we don't want to be like him either. And we kind of want to be like that police officer who pulls you over and you kind of go, yep, I was speeding. And he's like, I got it, and he just lets you off with a nice warning. So the times to determine when you just kind of are that nice little police officer and not the other one hiding in the weeds, I think is, I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to it, Kate. I think sometimes it boils down to gut instinct, and also just boils down to what you feel would be right in that moment.
I think we've all, let's say, taken things back when all of our items are all sales final, or we've bent the rules about accepting items, or when people can come in. We've let people in the store before hours, after hours. We've done all sorts of things that we, like you said, felt were right in that moment. And that's what being an entrepreneur is all about. If you wanted to follow the rules, you would probably have chosen a different career path in life. So I urge you all to, when you are standing in front of the counter talking to somebody who wants to return something, when your sales are all sales final, decide, who is that person? How important is this? Who's listening? If you have a store full of people, you might have a different reaction than if you're alone in the shop. You also have to decide, of course, the next step would be, how do you allow your staff to break the rules? What is the ultimate goal of the interaction that is going on right now? And sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes it's much easier to say, I'm sorry, but all sales are final. Instead of saying, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that your wife died and didn't get to wear those shoes she bought yesterday, or something of that sort. Stop and think, what are the ultimate consequences for you breaking your own rule? Now, a lot of people will say, well, if I break a rule for this person, then I'll have to break a rule for that person. And if there's 20 people in the store listening to me break a rule, those 20 people are going to be feel like they should get an exception as well. That's something between you and your feelings for how your store goes. I was a famous person for breaking rules. I didn't like rules. I don't like rules. That's the main reason I became an entrepreneur. So I was never stuck with rules. The rules basically were to gently guide my consigners, my customers, my clients, gently guide them the way I wanted them to go, but it was more of a velvet rope rather than a cattle prod.
Velvet rope than a cattle prod. I love that. So I actually have this amazing training that I do. It's called How to Be Awesome, Not Average. And I spent a small stint of my life doing hospitality training in the hospitality industry. And one of the hotels I had the privilege of training, I spent 4 or 5 days there, was the Marriott downtown in New Orleans. And one of the things when you work in the hospitality industry is there's this, it does go over into the retail industry and all service industries, but there's this interesting phenomenon because it's tracked about customers when they leave a review. So they really, even before Google reviews started and Yelp started, people have been able to give a hotel 2, 3, 4, 5 stars before they check out. And they live and die by those stars. The interesting thing is when all of these statistics are tracked, the opportunity to get the 5-star comes from the customer who had the experience of someone in the hotel going above and beyond for them. And usually that happens because the customer has a bad experience or something bad happens to them or during their stay. And then a hotel staff members are actually empowered to make things right. As an example, in just one very particular example, something happened with a customer at a hotel, and without even asking, one of the very low-level staff members made arrangements to get popcorn and movie tickets and put together this whole popcorn night in. They had actually codes for them to watch free movies on their TV, but they went above and beyond. Now, does that mean they have to do it for everyone in the hotel? No. But that's just an example. So it's like the staff is actually empowered and rewarded for going above and beyond and kind of breaking those rules and doing those things when you sort of feel like the moment has moved me to want to go and do something extra. I'm thinking about too, I know recently somebody had a customer return a prom dress. I don't know if it's true or not. It could have been a made up story, but the young girl got her heart broken, or her boyfriend broke up with her right before prom, and now she didn't need the prom dress. Could have been a lie. I don't know. That's where karma comes in. But I thought to myself, what a really great opportunity to return the dress and then send that girl like some Ben & Jerry's ice cream or something, or send them a gift certificate for something, whatever, some flowers or whatever. We've all been there. We've all had our hearts broken. So, and again, like maybe this situation didn't call for that. Maybe it didn't warrant that, but it was just something that came to mind. So I thought I would share it. But Kate, do you have any thoughts? Of course you have thoughts. What other thoughts do you have, Kate? What a silly question. On this topic.
Are you there?
Yeah.
I still think that when you set your policies, as I said, you're trying to guide people into doing what is best for your business, what is best for you, and believe it or not, what is best for them. A lot of shops, for instance, have a policy that they don't accept consignments for the last hour of the day of business. That's set in stone for a lot of shops. Now, a lot of shops close, let's say at 5 or 6 o'clock, and that means that your consigners need to get in at 4 or 5 o'clock. They get in there at 5:15, having rushed over from their office to get items to you, and you say, I'm sorry, we don't accept items within an hour of closing. What are you doing to your business? Now, you probably set that policy, at least this is what people tell me, probably set that policy because you don't want people rushing in at 5 minutes till closing with 3 racks of clothes. Again, it's a gray line between, do I accept this person, don't I accept this person? And we all know it. We all can feel when we're being generous. We all can feel when we're being taken advantage of. And we need to think about the next step with that person. Is the next step with that person who comes in at 5:15 when she should have been there before 5, is the next step with her leaving your business, not being a customer, a consignor? Is the next step her going to the shop down the street and them getting the wonderful things that you might have gotten? Or is the next step her dumping it at Goodwill? That's all something that you have to kind of feel out. But I urge everyone to realize that the rules are there for a reason. The rules are there because you made them. The reason that you made them may or may not apply in this given moment.
So, absolutely. And it comes to like that, I think it comes to that feel good factor, and that sometimes is really immeasurable. And first of all, a few comments. Susie Pineda called us beautiful. Thank you, Susie. That's really lovely. Michelle told you to think outside the box, Kate, and I think she's talking about this box, which actually made me laugh. And Susie also said she accepts anytime we're open, got to make it easy for them. Yes, easy, easy. Rosemary says she likes to call them guidelines, not rules. And good morning to everyone who's on here. We have Cindy, Michelle, Angie, Mary Lee, Neil, Sonia, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. And Amanda and Ellen and Jody, Tiffany. Good morning, everybody. So, I was just going to say something and then I forgot what I was going to say. But I know. I think it comes down to that feel-good factor, and that's really sometimes hard to quantify. Or when you're writing your book or your guidelines or your employee or staff rules book or policy book, it's hard to like define like what goes into that gray area, but along the lines of what you were saying, Kate, is that, you know, going above and beyond and finding those opportunities to go above and beyond, and just knowing that when you do the right thing, like, you will be rewarded. And I know that's one of those woo-woo business laws that I practice and that I believe in and that I teach. But really and truly, when you do the right thing, I know that sometimes we see the money dangling in front of us and we want to grab it. But on the same token, when you do the right thing, whatever money you've just let go, really and truly, it really will come back to you tenfold or 100-fold. It will come back to you. And you've now sent somebody off with really good juju, and they're going to remember that. They're going to take those really good feelings. We kind of talked about that PMA last week, but they're going to take those good feelings with you. But I also believe that, you know, sending somebody off and letting them feel good about your business is worth far more than that money. And when I interviewed the Vault, if you remember that, I interviewed the Vault. They talked a lot about that, and they will give money back, and they will give refunds, and they will, you know, and they have really big ticket items. When they give a refund, I mean, that's like, holy moly, that's like a big deal for them. But that's just common practice for them. It's almost like that's in there, that's part of their guideline, is always do the right thing, always give the refund. And it's almost like the gray area is when not to give the refund. And that is something that really stuck out with me. I think we do that a lot in our business. And I love to, you know, shop, and we all love to shop with businesses where that's kind of more of their policy. We know we're going to get treated really well and looked after and taken care of. Right?
I love the fact that bending the rules is an opportunity for your transaction with that customer to be more than average, to be awesome. As Colleen says, most of our lives are average. That's what average means, after all. But take the opportunity to be awesome sometimes. The price of that prom dress being refunded, you still have the prom dress. You know, so it really is not costing you a whole heck of a lot to refund that prom dress, because you still got the dress to sell. You have taken, let's say $5, $10 worth of your time to talk to this person, but you've turned her transaction with you into something awesome. And I truly do believe as well, when you have given that mother back the refund for the prom dress and your consolations, condolences to the young lady who's not going to prom when she thought she was, I truly believe that you have every right to email her, to write her, to ask her in person. Now, Mrs. Jones, you know, we've made an exception here, and I feel so bad about Susie not going to prom, but I would really appreciate you, in turn, making an exception and writing a review on Yelp, on Facebook, on wherever, or letting me do a quick little live video about, you know, nicely you were treated here in the shop. I don't think it's wrong to ask tit for tat. On occasion, depending who it is. If it's somebody who's really annoyed and is going to bash you no matter what you do for her, that would be something else. But, you know, we're all humans. We all understand how to react against one another. And I especially want to thank everybody today for hanging in there while Colleen managed to figure out the technology, or figure a workaround out, and to stick me in that little box there on her desk. I really appreciate that, and I hope that next week this will go smoother. Colleen, what are we going to be talking about next week?
I don't think we have a topic for next week. Usually we talk about something and then it kind of goes into another. Do you have a topic off the top of your head, Kate?
Off the top of my head, we have all sorts of things we could talk about. Let's talk about, what do we do when technology fails us?
We can probably do a live demo on that one next week.
How do we roll with the punches when the standard structure that we have in our business is blown? whether it's Facebook Live, whether it's a car crashing through your front window, whether it's the electricity going out. How do we cope in adversity? A good topic?
Oh, that's a great topic. Love that topic. So I want to leave you today with the final word, because usually Kate sends us all off, but I have a great little final word for today. So my training that I do is called how to be awesome and not average. But what I'm going to leave you with today is, how about go be awesome all the time and only average a little bit. So with that, everyone have an amazing, fabulous week. And me and my friend Kate, this could be called Kate in a Box. Hey, this is...
I need to think outside the box.
This could be a new product right here. I could be like, you can take Kate with you anywhere you want to go. It's Kate in a Box. Everyone have a really great week. Thank you for showing up and hanging out with us this morning, and make amazing sales this week, and go and be awesome, not average. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, folks.
Oh, now I have to turn the bloody thing off. Where's my off button? There we go. Bye, everyone.